The Riverside County Animal Shelter had never seen a dog like Captain Rex. 6 months behind reinforced bars. 17 handlers attempted contact. Zero progress made. In the isolation wing, the German Shepherd sat motionless, eyes cold as winter stone. Tomorrow, his time would run out. But when a blind girl whispered one impossible word, everything changed. What happened next would shake the entire community and reveal a truth no one saw coming. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The morning sun filtered through sheer curtains in the Torres household. Maya woke to familiar sounds, her grandmother's footsteps in the kitchen below, the gentle clink of ceramic plates, coffee brewing filling the air with warmth. She sat up slowly. Her fingers traced the embroidered edge of her blanket. 12 years of navigating this room had mapped every surface into memory. 3 steps to the dresser, 5 more to the door. She counted silently, her white cane resting against the nightstand. Downstairs, Rosa hummed an old melody, the same song she sang when Maya's father was alive. 3 years had passed since the accident. 3 years of Rosa raising Maya alone. The grief still lingered in quiet moments. Maya descended the stairs carefully, one hand on the railing. 15 steps total. Her feet knew each creak in the wood. "Good morning, mija." Rosa's voice carried the texture of a smile. "Breakfast is almost ready." Maya slid into her chair at the kitchen table. The smell of scrambled eggs and warm tortillas surrounded her. She heard her grandmother moving between the stove and counter, efficient, practiced, protective. They ate in comfortable silence at first. Then Rosa cleared her throat. "I spoke with Dr. Chen yesterday. She runs the animal shelter on Foster Road." Maya paused mid-might. "A shelter? They have a volunteer program for young people. You would help socialize the animals, just sitting with them, talking, gentle interaction." Maya set down her fork. "Grandma, I can't see them." Rosa reached across the table. Her warm hand covered Maya's. "Maybe they don't need to be seen. Maybe they just need to be heard, like you." The words hung in the air. Maya had spent years being treated as fragile. Teachers spoke louder around her, as if blindness affected hearing. Classmates avoided her, unsure how to interact. Loneliness had become her constant companion. What would I even do there? Dr. Chen said you could read to them. Audiobooks, but out loud. Some animals respond well to calm voices. You have the calmest voice I know. Maya considered this. She did love reading. Her audiobook collection was extensive. Military history, animal behavior, adventure stories. Her father's favorites. How would I get around? I would drive you, 3 times a week. After school, just for an hour. Maya felt the familiar tug between independence and fear. But something in her grandmother's tone suggested this mattered, that Rosa needed Maya to try. "Okay, once. I'll try once." Across town, Dr. Sarah Chen stood in her office, reviewing files. The morning shift had started an hour ago. Barking echoed through the concrete hallways. Kennel doors clanged. Footsteps of staff members created a steady rhythm. Her eyes landed on one file. Captain Rex, German Shepherd, 4 years old, 85 pounds of muscle and trauma. She opened the folder. The history made her chest tighten. Military working dog, explosive detection specialist, deployed to Afghanistan, dishonorably discharged after an incident during operations, severe PTSD, aggressive toward all handlers, 6 months at Riverside. No progress. Tomorrow's date was circled in red. Euthanasia scheduled. Chen rubbed her temples. 15 years as a shelter veterinarian had taught her hard lessons. Some animals were too damaged, too dangerous. Despite every effort, some couldn't be saved. She walked to the isolation wing, the back corridor where they kept the high-risk cases. Warning signs posted on every door. Staff avoided this area unless absolutely necessary. Rex's kennel was at the end, double reinforced, extra locks. She approached slowly. The German Shepherd sat in the far corner. His dark sable coat caught the fluorescent light. A thick scar crossed his left shoulder. His eyes tracked her movement, but his body remained still. Coiled, ready. "Hey, boy." Her voice was soft, professional. Rex didn't respond. No tail wag, no ear twitch, just that cold, assessing stare. Chen had seen this look before. Not in animals, in soldiers. The 1,000-yard stare. The look of someone. Ian who'd witnessed too much. She checked his food bowl, untouched again. Water barely sipped. "You're not making this easy, are you?" Rex's lip curled slightly. A warning. She stepped back. The file listed 17 attempted handlers. Volunteers, experienced trainers, even a former military canine specialist. All had failed. Rex allowed no one close. Any approach triggered aggression, snarling, lunging at barriers. Once, he'd nearly broken through the kennel door. Chen returned to her office. The volunteer coordinator knocked moments later. "The Torres girl is here, the one you mentioned. Send her to the main room. Keep her with the gentle cases. Nothing from the back wing. Understood." Chen gathered intake forms and headed to meet them. Rosa and Maya stood near the entrance. The girl held a white cane, her head tilted slightly, listening to the shelter sounds. "Mrs. Torres, Maya, thank you for coming." She shook Rosa's hand, then extended her hand toward Maya, realizing immediately the gesture was invisible. "Maya, I'm Dr. Chen. I'm standing directly in front of you. My hand is out if you'd like to shake." Maya smiled. She reached forward. Their hands met. "Thank you for having me." Chen began the tour, describing each area verbally. The intake section, the medical wing, the main adoption floor. Maya listened intently, asking occasional questions. They passed kennels of dogs in various states. Some barked excitedly, others cowered in corners. Maya paused at each, turning her head toward the sounds. "Can I touch the bars? To feel the vibrations?" "Of course." Maya extended her hand. Her fingers brushed the chain link. A small terrier yapped inside. Maya smiled. "He's excited. I can feel it in the rhythm." "You're very perceptive." They continued through the facility. Chen kept them far from the isolation wing. No reason to expose Maya to that danger. But as they turned a corner, Maya stopped suddenly. Her head tilted. "What's back there?" Chen followed her gaze toward the restricted corridor. "That area isn't part of the program. I hear something. Breathing. Different from the others." Rosa touched Maya's shoulder. "Mija, Dr. Chen said it's not part of the tour." But Maya's expression had shifted. Curiosity replaced hesitation. "That's where you keep the scared ones, isn't it?" Chen hesitated. "The scared ones. An interesting interpretation. Some animals need more specialized care. That's all. Can I meet one? Just one?" Chen glanced at Rosa, who looked uncertain. The girl's intuition was unsettling. How had she identified the isolation wing by sound alone? "Not today. Let's start with the social animals. We'll see how it goes." Maya nodded slowly, but Chen noticed her attention remained fixed on that distant corridor, on the sound only she seemed to hear. The breathing of a soldier who'd forgotten how to rest. Maya spent her first session in the adoption area, reading aloud. A golden retriever named Sunny lay at her feet. His tail thumped against the floor as she spoke. The words came from an adventure novel about a ship captain and his loyal crew. Dr. Chen observed from the doorway. The girl's voice had a soothing quality, steady, unhurried. Several other dogs had quieted to listen. When the hour ended, Rosa arrived to collect her. Maya seemed lighter somehow. The tension in her shoulders had eased. "Can I come back tomorrow?" "Of course, same time." That night, Maya couldn't stop thinking about the breathing she'd heard. The rhythm had been irregular, panicked. She recognized it from her own experiences. Anxiety attacks felt like drowning in air. Her father had suffered them after his deployment. She asked Rosa about it over dinner. "Grandma, do dogs get PTSD?" Rosa paused, fork halfway to her mouth. "I imagine they can. Why do you ask?" "That sound I heard today, at the shelter. It reminded me of Papa." Rosa's expression softened with old grief. "Your father carried heavy things he couldn't share." "What helped him when it got bad?" Rosa thought carefully. Patience, not forcing him to talk, just being present, letting him know he wasn't alone. Maya nodded slowly. An idea was forming. The next afternoon, Maya returned to the shelter. Chen met her at the entrance with her usual greeting. But as they walked toward the adoption area, Maya stopped. "Dr. Chen, I'd like to meet the dog from yesterday, the one in the back." Chen's professional smile tightened. Maya, those animals require specialized handling. I won't touch. I'll just sit outside the kennel. Please. Rosa stepped forward. Is it dangerous? Potentially. He's scheduled for euthanasia tomorrow. He's shown aggression toward everyone. Maya's breath caught. Tomorrow? Chen nodded. We've exhausted all options. It's not a decision I make lightly. Let me try. Just 15 minutes. If it doesn't work, I won't ask again. Chen studied the girl's face. There was determination there, something beyond childish curiosity, against my better judgment. When I supervise, and your grandmother stays present. They walked to the isolation wing. The air felt different here, colder. The sounds were muted. Maya's cane tapped against the concrete floor. Chen unlocked the security door. The corridor stretched ahead. Warning signs lined the walls. Rosa read them silently, her worry deepening. At the end, Chen stopped. This is Rex, former military working dog. He's been here 6 months. Do not attempt to touch the kennel. Do not make sudden movements. Maya heard the low growl before Chen finished speaking. It rumbled like distant thunder. She turned her head toward the sound. Hello, Rex. The growling intensified. Through the bars, the German shepherd rose to his feet, his hackles raised, teeth bared. Maya didn't flinch. She slowly lowered herself to the floor, cross-legged, hands visible in her lap. Rex's barking exploded through the space. Sharp, aggressive, he threw his body against the kennel door. The metal rattled violently. Rosa gasped. Mija, we should go, but Maya remained still. Her face was calm. She waited for a pause in the barking. When it came, she spoke quietly. You're scared too. Rex froze mid-bark. His mouth closed. Ears swiveled forward. The silence was absolute. Chen's eyes widened. In 6 months, no one had achieved this, not even a moment of quiet. Maya continued speaking, her voice barely above a whisper. I know what it's like. When everything feels dangerous. When you can't trust anyone. Rex approached the bars slowly. His body was still tense, but the aggression had shifted to confusion. I lost my parents 3 years ago. Car accident. Sometimes I wake up and forget they're gone. Then I remember, and it feels like drowning. The dog sat down, just inside the bars, his eyes fixed on Maya. Dr. Chen, what happened to him? Chen found her voice. He was deployed overseas. There was an explosion. His handler was badly injured. Rex was blamed. Discharged. Maya's expression tightened with understanding. He tried to do his job, and they punished him for it. The official report says he failed to detect multiple devices. But you don't believe that. Chen hesitated. No, I don't. But the records are sealed. I can't prove anything. Maya shifted slightly closer, still a safe distance from the bars. Rex, I can't see your scars, but I bet you have them, just like my papa did. Rex's ears flattened, not in aggression, in something else. Recognition, perhaps. My grandmother says papa fought so others could be safe. I think you did too. The German shepherd made a sound. Not a growl, not quite a whimper. Something caught between the two. Rosa watched in stunned silence. Chen pulled out her phone, documenting the moment. Maya extended her hand, palm up, not reaching toward the kennel, just offering. I'm not going to hurt you, and I don't think you want to hurt me. Rex stared at her hand, seconds stretched, then slowly he moved to the bars. His nose pushed through the gap, just barely touching Maya's fingertips. The contact lasted only a moment, but it was enough. Chen's voice was thick. That's impossible. He's never allowed anyone this close. Maya turned toward the veterinarian. What did you say to him before I got here? I didn't say anything. I just opened the door. No, you must have used a command. Something specific. Chen replayed her actions mentally. I don't think so. Why? Because he's trained. Military dogs respond to specific language, structure. How do you know that? My father was in the army. He told me about the working dogs. They're taught commands and patterns. If you break the pattern, they don't understand. Chen moved closer to the kennel. Rex's attention snapped to her. A low warning growl started. But when Maya spoke, he stopped, eyes returning to the girl. At ease, soldier. Rex's posture changed instantly. He sat. The tension drained from his body. His tail moved once against the concrete floor. The shelter fell completely silent. Chen's hand trembled as she checked her notes. That's a military stand-down command. How did you know? My papa used to say it. When his anxiety got bad, it helped him remember he wasn't in danger anymore. Rex's breathing had steadied. The panicked rhythm Maya first heard was gone, replaced by something calmer. Rosa knelt beside her granddaughter. Mija, I think you found. On your volunteer assignment, Chen looked between the girl and the dog. This changes everything. If he responds to you, maybe there's hope. Can you cancel tomorrow, the euthanasia? Chen's mind raced through protocols and paperwork. I'd need justification, evidence of progress. You just recorded it. Chen glanced at her phone. The video showed everything. Rex's aggression, Maya's calm, the impossible moment of contact. I'll need to propose a rehabilitation plan. You'd have to commit to regular sessions, supervised, strictly controlled. I'll come every day, Rosa interjected. Maya, school, homework. After school then, 1 hour, every single day. Chen studied Rex. The dog was watching Maya like she was the only thing in the room. 6 months of isolation, and a blind 12-year-old girl had reached him in 15 minutes. 2-week trial. If we see continued progress, we reassess. If there's any sign of danger, we stop immediately. Agreed. Chen made notes on her tablet. I'll need your grandmother to sign liability waivers, whatever's needed. Rosa's voice was firm. Maya turned back to Rex. The dog hadn't moved from his position at the bars. She smiled. I'll see you tomorrow, Rex. I promise. As they prepared to leave, Rex stood. He pressed against the kennel door. Not aggressive, almost desperate. He doesn't want you to go. Chen sounded amazed. Maya heard it too. The shift in his breathing. The small whine building in his throat. It's okay. I'm coming back. You're not alone anymore. The walk back through the shelter felt different, lighter. Rosa kept glancing at her granddaughter with a mixture of pride and concern. In the parking lot, Chen pulled Rosa aside while Maya waited by the car. Mrs. Torres, I need you to understand the risk. Rex is unpredictable. His training makes him potentially lethal. I saw what I saw, Doctor. That dog recognized something in my granddaughter. Chen nodded slowly. I think you're right. I just hope we're not wrong. That evening, Maya researched military working dogs. Her screen reader translated articles into audio. She learned about canine units, training protocols, PTSD in service animals. She discovered that command language varied. Some dogs were trained in German, others in Dutch. English commands followed specific structures. She made a list. Sit, stay, down, heel, search, alert, guard, release, and the stand-down command she'd used, at ease. Her fingers traced the braille notes she'd made. Rex responded to structure, to familiar patterns. He needed someone who understood his language. Rosa appeared in her doorway. You should sleep, Mija. I will. I'm just learning. About dogs? About soldiers who couldn't come home, even when they were already here. Rosa sat on the edge of Maya's bed. Your father would be proud. You have his heart. I wish he was here. He'd know how to help Rex better than me. Maybe. Or maybe Rex needs someone exactly like you. Someone who sees past the scars. Maya smiled faintly. I can't see it all, Grandma. Exactly. The next afternoon, Maya returned with a notebook full of commands. Dr. Chen met her at the entrance, carrying a clipboard thick with documentation. The trial officially starts today. I've prepared a structured protocol. They walked to the isolation wing. Rex was already at the bars, waiting. His eyes tracked Maya's approach. Hello, Rex. His tail moved, just once, but it was movement. Chen unlocked the corridor. I've set up a chair for you. Maintain distance from the kennel for now. Maya settled into the folding chair. She heard Rex shift his weight. His breathing was steady today, calmer than yesterday. I brought something to read. Is that okay? She pulled out a small audio player, but instead of earbuds, she set it to speaker mode. The book was a military history, stories of canine units in World War II. As the narrator's voice filled the space, Rex's ears perked forward. He moved closer to the bars, listening intently. Chen made notes. Subject shows interest in auditory stimulation, particularly military-related content. For the next hour, Maya simply sat. The stories played. Rex remained focused. No aggression, no anxiety behaviors. When the session ended, Maya stood slowly. See you tomorrow, Rex. His whine was immediate, sharp, pleading. Chen watched carefully. He's bonding to you. Faster than I expected. Is that bad? It's unusual. Military dogs are trained to bond with handlers, but Rex was discharged. That bond was broken. He shouldn't be capable of forming a new one this quickly. Maybe he's been waiting for someone who wouldn't give up on him. Chen's expression softened. Nady, the pattern. RN continued for 5 days. Maya read, Rex listened. Gradually, Chen allowed Maya to sit closer, within arm's reach of the bars. On day 6, Maya asked a question. Can I go inside? Chen hesitated. That's a significant escalation. He hasn't shown any aggression toward me. Not once. Not yet. But trauma responses are unpredictable. Rosa had been watching from the corridor. If my granddaughter believes she's safe, I trust her judgment. Chen reviewed her notes. All observations supported progress, but protocol demanded caution. We do it in stages. First, I enter with you. We see how he reacts to both of us in his space. Okay. Chen unlocked the kennel door. The metallic click echoed. Rex stood immediately, his body tensed. At ease. Maya's voice was firm. Next sat, but his eyes tracked Chen's every movement. Chen entered first. Rex's lip curled. A warning. I'm a friend, Rex. I'm here to help. The dog didn't accept this. His growl rumbled low. Maya spoke from outside. May I come in? Rex's attention snapped to her. The growl stopped. She stepped through the doorway. Chen stayed close, ready to intervene. Rex moved toward Maya, not aggressively, deliberately. He positioned himself between her and Chen. He's protecting you. Chen's voice held wonder. From me. Maya reached out slowly. Her hand found Rex's head. She felt the shape of his skull, the softness of his ears, the thick scar tissue on his shoulder. Oh, buddy. What did they do to you? Her fingers traced the scar. It was extensive. Surgical marks, burn patterns. Rex stood perfectly still, allowing the examination. Chen photographed the scarring. I need to document this. These injuries are more severe than the intake report indicated. What could cause this? Combat wounds. Probably an explosion. The burn patterns suggest white phosphorus. Military grade. Maya's hand stilled. You were so close to it. Rex leaned into her touch. The gesture was subtle, but unmistakable. Chen's professional facade cracked. In 15 years, I've never seen anything like this. They stayed in the kennel for 20 minutes. Maya sitting on the floor, Rex beside her. His body relaxed completely. When they exited, Rex didn't protest. He simply watched Maya leave, then returned to his resting spot. The transformation accelerated. By day 10, Chen allowed unsupervised time. Rosa watched through the observation window while Maya and Rex spent an hour together. Maya would talk about her day, her classes, the audiobook she was listening to. Rex responded with small sounds, huffs, soft whines. His tail wagged occasionally. On day 11, something shifted. Maya was reading when Rex suddenly stood. His ears swiveled toward the corridor. A low, controlled growl emerged. What is it? The kennel door was closed, but through the small window, Chen could see Rex's posture, alert, defensive. Footsteps approached, heavy, unfamiliar. A man's voice boomed down the corridor. I'm looking for Dr. Chen. Rex's growl intensified. He moved to position himself between Maya and the door. Maya felt his tension. She placed her hand on his back. What's wrong? Through the window, Chen saw the visitor, a large man in expensive clothes. She didn't recognize him. Can I help you? Her tone was professional, but cool. Richard Donovan. I'm interested in acquiring one of your dogs. We have many animals available for adoption. Please return to the front desk. Not adoption. Purchase. I understand you have a German Shepherd, former military. Chen's stomach tightened. Rex isn't available. Everything's available for the right price. That dog is in active rehabilitation. He's not for sale. Donovan's eyes found Rex through the window. Even from a distance, his gaze was calculating, cold. I run a private security firm. We train canine units for overseas contracts. A dog with his background would be valuable. He's not interested, and neither am I. Please leave. Donovan smiled. It wasn't friendly. I'll be in touch with the county board. I'm sure we can work something out. He left, but the damage was done. Inside the kennel, Rex was trembling. Not from fear, from controlled rage. Maya felt it through her hand on his back. You know him, don't you? Rex's growl didn't stop until Donovan's footsteps faded completely. Chen entered quickly. Are you all right? Maya nodded. But Rex isn't. He recognized that man. That's impossible. Donovan's never been here before. Maybe not here, but somewhere. Rex knows him. Chen pulled out her phone. She photographed the business card Donovan had left. Titan Security Solutions. International contracts. She'd researched them tonight. Rosa entered the kennel. Mija, I think we should go. But Maya was focused on Rex. His breathing had returned to that panicked rhythm, the same pattern she'd heard on her first visit. She knelt beside him. Hey, look at me. Rex's eyes found hers. Of course she couldn't see him, but somehow it didn't matter. Whoever that man is, he can't have you. You're safe here. The trembling slowly subsided. Rex pressed his head against Maya's chest. The gesture was so human, so desperate for comfort. Chen watched the interaction. This dog's protective instincts are extraordinary. That wasn't random aggression. He assessed a threat. From someone he's never met? From someone he recognized? You were right, Maya. That evening, Chen researched Titan Security Solutions. The company's website was professional, polished. They provided K-9 units for private military contractors, embassies, high-risk security details. She dug deeper. Found articles about unethical acquisition practices, allegations of buying discharged military dogs through questionable channels. Nothing proven, but the pattern was clear. She called a colleague at the county board. Hey, did you get any inquiries about our German Shepherd today? Actually, yes. Some guy named Donovan. Offered $50,000 for immediate release. Said he had documentation proving prior ownership claim. That's a lie. Rex came through standard military discharge channels. Donovan's lawyers are filing paperwork. You might want to get ahead of this. Chen's hands shook as she ended the call. She immediately dialed another number. One she'd found in Rex's intake file. A military contact listed as emergency reference. The phone rang 4 times before someone answered. Lieutenant Wade. My name is Dr. Sarah Chen. I'm calling about a dog. Captain Rex. He's at my shelter. The silence stretched for several seconds. Rex is alive? Wade's voice cracked. Where? Riverside County, California. He's been here 6 months. 6 months. Wade's breath was audible. I've been searching for 2 years. There's a problem. Someone's trying to take him. A private contractor. Claims ownership rights. That's illegal. Rex was never cleared for private sale. His discharge was administrative, not transfer. Can you prove that? I can do better. I can come there. Give me the address. Chen provided the information. Wade promised to drive through the night. When she arrived at the shelter the next morning, Maya was already waiting. Dr. Chen, what happened yesterday? With that man? Chen knelt to Maya's level. There's someone who wants to take Rex, for the wrong reasons. Maya's jaw set. He's not going anywhere. I've contacted someone who might help. Rex's former handler. He's coming here. Maya's expression shifted. His handler? The one from the explosion? Yes. Does Rex blame him? Chen had wondered the same thing. I don't know, but we're about to find out. A truck pulled into the parking lot. A man in his early 40s stepped out. He moved with a slight limp. His left arm had visible scarring. Lieutenant Wade. Chen extended her hand. Doctor. His eyes were already scanning the building. Where is he? Inside, but I need to prepare you. He's not the same dog you remember. Is anyone, after what we went through? They walked to the isolation wing. Maya was already inside Rex's kennel. The dog was calm beside her. Wade stopped at the observation window. His face went pale. That's him. That's Rex. Chen unlocked the corridor door. Wade entered slowly. Rex's head snapped up. His nostrils flared. Recognition was immediate. The dog stood, but he didn't approach. Instead, he lowered his head, ears flat, a posture of shame. Wade's voice broke. Hey, buddy. It's me. Rex whined, a high, broken sound. He took 1 step forward, then stopped. Conflicted, Maya felt the tension in his body. You know this person. Wade's eyes found Maya. Who's this? The girl who saved his life. Chen's voice was firm. Wade knelt slowly. Rex, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It wasn't your fault. It was never your fault. Rex took another step, then another. Finally, he reached Wade. The man wrapped his arms around the dog. Rex buried his head against Wade's chest. His body shook with something between relief and grief. Maya smiled. Because even though she couldn't see the reunion, she could feel it in the way the air itself seemed to shift, like a weight lifting. Lieutenant Marcus Wade sat on the kennel floor, Rex pressed against his side. Maya listened to the reunion from her position near the wall. The sounds told her everything. Wade's unsteady breathing, Rex's soft whines, the texture of forgiveness being exchanged without words. Dr. Chen. N broke the silence gently. Lieutenant, we need to discuss the situation. Wade looked up. His eyes were wet. What situation? A man named Richard Donovan is trying to acquire Rex. He's claiming ownership rights through military discharge channels. That's impossible. Rex's discharge was sealed, administrative only. No transfer authorization was ever issued. Donovan seems to have documentation, or claims to. Forged, then. Wade's voice hardened. I know exactly who Donovan is. Titan Security tried to recruit me after my medical discharge. When I refused, they went after discharged canines instead. Black market acquisitions. Can you prove Rex's status? I have the original discharge papers. They're in my truck. But more importantly, I have the mission reports, the ones that prove Rex didn't fail. Chen leaned forward. The official record says he failed to detect multiple devices. The official record is a lie. Wade's jaw clenched. Rex alerted to 3 devices. I overrode his second and third alerts. Thought he was being overly cautious. I was wrong. The secondary device detonated. 3 soldiers died because I didn't trust my dog. Maya's voice was quiet but clear. You blamed yourself, so they blamed him. Wade turned to her. Who are you? Maya Torres. I've been working with Rex for almost 2 weeks. You're the one who got through to him? Maya shrugged slightly. I just listened. Most people don't. Wade studied her for a moment. The white cane resting beside her. The way Rex remained close but also oriented toward her. You're blind. Since birth. And you're 12? Yes, sir. Wade shook his head slowly. A blind 12-year-old succeeded where 17 trained handlers failed. That says something about the handlers. Chen pulled out her tablet. Lieutenant, I need you to walk me through Rex's history. Everything. If Donovan's lawyers are filing claims, I need ammunition to fight back. Wade nodded. He gently moved Rex aside and stood. The dog immediately repositioned between Wade and the door. Old habits. Rex was bred from a legendary line. His mother was Liberty. Best explosives detection dog in JSOC history. Saved over 40 lives in active combat. What happened to her? Wade's expression darkened. Killed in action. Covering a unit retreat in Kandahar. Rex was 18 months old, present when it happened. Maya's hand found Rex's head. She felt him lean into her touch. You watched your mother die. After that, Rex's training intensified. He inherited Liberty's instincts, but also her protective nature. By 3 years old, he was cross-trained. Explosives detection, personal protection, tactical assault response. That's an unusual combination. Chen made notes rapidly. He wasn't a standard military working dog. He was special operations, the kind of asset that gets classified status. Then how did he end up discharged? The mission in Afghanistan. We were clearing a village before a humanitarian convoy arrived. Rex alerted to an IED in the main square. We marked it, moved forward. He alerted again 50 meters later. I thought it was residual scent from the first device. Ordered him to continue. He refused, sat down hard. The alert position. But you overrode him. Wade's voice dropped. I pulled rank. Literally dragged him forward. He was right. There was a secondary device. Pressure plate trigger. I stepped on it. The explosion killed 3 soldiers instantly. Shattered my leg and arm. Should have killed me too. What did Rex do? Wade's eyes found the dog. He dragged me out of the kill zone. Went back for the others. Made 3 trips into active fire. Pulled 2 more soldiers to safety. But it was too late for them. So he saved your life and tried to save theirs. Maya's voice was steady. But the report blamed him. Command needed a scapegoat. Couldn't blame the officer who ignored his dog's alert. Easier to claim the dog was unreliable. Rex was discharged within a week. I was medically evacuated. By the time I recovered enough to fight the decision, he'd disappeared into the shelter system. Chen reviewed her notes. This changes everything. With your testimony, we can prove Donovan has no legitimate claim. There's more. Wade pulled out his phone. He scrolled through photos, then handed it to Chen. That's Rex as a puppy. With Liberty. The image showed a small German Shepherd pup sitting beside a powerful adult female. Both had the same intelligent, intense eyes. Chen zoomed in on the adult dog. She's magnificent. She was. Wade took the phone back. There's a reason Donovan wants Rex. Dogs from Liberty's line are worth hundreds of thousands on the black market. Their genetics, their training potential, and their proven combat record. He's not buying a pet, he's buying a weapon. Maya spoke quietly. Rex isn't a weapon anymore, he's just scared. Wade knelt again. You're right. He's been treated like equipment his whole life. Maybe that needs to change. Rex moved between them. His head swiveled from Wade to Maya, confused by the dual connection. Chen checked her watch. Donovan's lawyers are filing their claim today. I need to submit a counter-response by 5 p.m. Lieutenant, can you provide sworn testimony? Absolutely. Everything I just told you, plus the mission reports I kept. The medical records showing my injuries. The timeline proving Rex acted appropriately. What about the dog's microchip? Can we trace his registration? Chen accessed her computer. I scanned it during intake. The code was encrypted. Military designation. I couldn't access the full record. Let me try. Wade took the tablet. He entered a series of codes. Security clearances from his service years. The screen flickered, then populated with data. Rex's full file appeared. Breeding records, training certifications, mission history, deployment details, and there, Wade pointed. Discharge status, administrative, no transfer authorization. Ownership reverts to handler of record upon separation from service. That's you. Wade read further. His expression shifted. Actually, no. It says handler of record must be active duty. I'm medically retired. So ownership defaults to military working dog adoption program, which routes through approved shelters. So Riverside has legal custody. Correct. Donovan has no claim unless he can prove military authorization, which doesn't exist. Chen began typing rapidly. I'm filing an emergency injunction. This should block any attempt to remove Rex from the facility. How long will that hold? Depends on how good Donovan's lawyers are. Could be days. Could be weeks. Maya stood slowly. What happens if they get a court order? Wade and Chen exchanged glances. The unspoken answer hung heavy. Maya's voice was firm. Then we don't let it get that far. What are you thinking? Wade asked. If Donovan wants Rex for illegal purposes, we need to prove it. Expose what he's really doing. That's dangerous. Chen shook her head. These aren't people who respond well to exposure. My father used to say the best defense is making the enemy visible. Maya's hand rested on Rex's back. If everyone knows what Donovan is, he can't operate in shadows anymore. Wade considered this. She's right. Titan security survives on discretion. Public scrutiny would destroy their business model. How do we create that scrutiny? Chen asked. Wade smiled grimly. We tell Rex's story. All of it. The hero dog wrongly discharged. The girl who saved him. The contractor trying to steal him for profit. Media loves this stuff. But that puts Maya at risk. Rosa's voice came from the doorway. She'd been listening silently. Mom. Maya turned toward her grandmother's voice. Rex risked everything for people he didn't know. I can risk a little attention for him. Rosa entered the kennel. She looked at Rex. The dog met her gaze calmly. You really think this will work? Wade stood. I have contacts. Military journalists. Advocacy groups. If we move fast, we can have this story everywhere by tomorrow. Chen nodded slowly. I'll prepare a press release. With Lieutenant Wade's testimony and Maya's documentation, we have a compelling narrative. What do you need from me? Maya asked. Just tell your story. Wade's voice was gentle. How you met Rex, what you've learned about him, why he matters. Maya smiled. That's easy. He matters because he never stopped being a good soldier, even when everyone else stopped believing in him. Rex's tail wagged. Once, twice. The room felt different suddenly, like possibility had entered. Chen made final notes. We move tomorrow morning. I'll coordinate with local news. Wade, you handle military contacts and advocacy networks. Maya, be ready for interviews. Rosa squeezed her granddaughter's shoulder. Your father would be proud. Wade looked at Rex. So would Liberty. The dog's ears perked at his mother's name. For the first time since his discharge, his posture held something other than shame. It held purpose. The plan was set for morning. But that night, everything changed. Rosa and Maya had just finished dinner when Rex began to pace. Dr. Chen had approved a 72-hour foster arrangement. Keep him off the shelter premises while the legal situation developed. Reduce risk of forced removal. The Torres home was modest. 2 bedrooms, small kitchen, living room with worn furniture that held decades of memories. Rex had spent the first hour mapping every room, every window, every exit. Now he stood at the front window, staring into darkness. Maya felt his tension from the couch. What's wrong? Rex's low growl answered. It wasn't the aggressive sound from the shelter. This was different, controlled, a warning. Rosa moved to the window. I don't see anything. Rex's hackles rose slowly. His body went rigid. Then Maya heard it. A vehicle engine, idling on their street. The sound wasn't moving. Just sitting there. Call Dr. Chen. Maya's voice was steady despite her racing heart. Rosa pulled out her phone. Before she could dial, the engine cut off. Silence followed. Rex positioned himself between Maya and the front door. His stance was wide, professional. Rosa reached Chen on the second ring. Someone's watching our house. Chen's response was immediate. Lock everything. I'm calling Lieutenant Wade. Don't open the door for anyone. We weren't planning to. Rosa moved through the house, checking locks, windows, the back door. Maya sat perfectly still. Her hand found Rex's collar. She could feel his coiled readiness, like a spring compressed to its limit. Minutes crawled past. The street remained quiet. Too quiet. Then footsteps, soft, deliberate, moving along the side of the house. Rex's growl deepened. He tracked the sound's progression. From the front yard, along the fence line, toward the back. Rosa whispered into the phone. Someone's circling the house. Wade's on his way. Chen's voice was tight. 10 minutes out. Can you get to a safe room? Maya's bedroom is interior. No windows. Go there. Now. And Rosa, if Rex alerts to immediate danger, trust him. They moved quickly. Rosa guided Maya down the hallway. Rex stayed behind them, watching their retreat. In Maya's room, Rosa locked the door, pushed the dresser against it. Her hands shook. Maya sat on the bed. Rex remained at the door, ears swiveling, processing sounds beyond human hearing. Who would do this? Maya's voice was barely audible. Rosa knew, but saying it aloud made it more real. Someone who wants Rex badly enough to break the law. The sound of breaking glass shattered the tense silence. Kitchen window, back of the house. Rosa's breath caught. Rex didn't bark, didn't make a sound. He simply moved into position, blocking the bedroom door completely. Maya heard it now. Footsteps inside their home. 2 sets. Heavy boots on tile flooring. A man's voice carried down the hallway. The dog's here somewhere. Find it. Another voice responded. What about the occupants? Not our problem. We're here for the asset. Asset. They were talking about Rex like he was equipment. The footsteps split. One set moved toward the living room. The other approached the hallway. Rex's body temperature seemed to rise under Maya's hand. Every muscle defined. Ready. Rosa pulled Maya behind her, positioned herself as another barrier. Her phone was still connected to Chen. Chen's voice came through the speaker. Wade's 2 minutes away. Police are 3 minutes behind him. 2 minutes might as well be forever. The hallway footsteps stalked outside Maya's door. The handle turned. Locked. Then the push. Testing the door's resistance. The dresser held. A heavy impact. The man was using his shoulder. The door frame cracked slightly. Rex's growl was barely audible. A vibration more than sound. Another impact. Wood splintered. The dresser shifted. Rex launched himself at the door. His 75 pounds hit it from the inside, at the precise moment of the next impact. The collision sent the intruder stumbling backward. Shouting erupted. What the hell? The second intruder rushed to assist. Rex, get the trank ready. They were prepared for Rex. They'd come with sedation equipment. But they hadn't prepared for a dog trained in executive protection. A dog whose entire purpose was neutralizing threats to his principal. The door burst open, dresser toppling. 2 men in tactical gear entered. Rex met them head-on. The first man raised a tranquilizer gun. Rex's training took over. He went low, swept the man's legs. The gun discharged into the ceiling. The second man swung a baton. Rex dodged. His movements were precise, economical, no wasted energy. Maya heard the struggle, the impacts, heavy breathing, Rex's controlled aggression. Rosa pulled Maya toward the closet. Get inside. But Maya resisted. She couldn't leave Rex. The first man recovered, grabbed for Rex's collar. The dog spun, jaws snapping. Not to kill, to disable. He caught the man's wrist, applied pressure. The man screamed, released. Rex backed toward Maya's position, creating distance, maintaining visual on. Oath threats. The second man pulled a taser, aimed at Rex's center mass. Down. Maya's command was sharp, clear. Rex dropped flat. The taser probes sailed over him, embedded in the wall. The confusion bought seconds. The men hadn't expected the dog to respond to commands during combat. Forget restraint. The first man's voice was savage. Grab the girl. The dog will follow. He lunged toward Rosa and Maya. Rex intercepted. This time, his attack wasn't measured. It was absolute. He hit the man full force, drove him into the hallway wall, held position, teeth at the throat, not biting, warning. The man froze. One wrong move, and Rex would finish it. The second man raised his hands. Okay, we're done. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing closer. The front door crashed open. Wade's voice boomed through the house. Federal agent, get on the ground. He appeared in the hallway, service weapon drawn, took in the scene instantly. Rex, release. The dog obeyed immediately, stepped back, returned to Maya's side. The 2 intruders were face down within seconds. Wade's training evident in his efficient restraint technique. Police flooded in moments later. 4 officers, weapons ready, secure. Wade announced, 2 suspects in custody. Family is safe. 1 officer checked Rosa and Maya. Any injuries? We're okay. Rosa's voice shook. Rex protected us. The officer looked at the German Shepherd. The dog sat calmly beside Maya, as if the last 5 minutes hadn't happened. That's one hell of a dog. Dr. Chen arrived as the suspects were being led out in handcuffs. She went straight to Maya. Are you hurt? No, thanks to Rex. Chen examined the dog quickly, checking for injuries. He's fine, not even winded. Wade photographed the broken window, the damaged door, the tranquilizer gun on the floor. This is attempted burglary, assault, and attempted theft of protected property. One of the officers took statements. When he got to the part about Rex's response, he paused. Ma'am, your dog potentially saved your lives tonight. That's commendable, but his training level concerns me. That wasn't normal dog behavior. He's a retired military working dog. Wade showed his identification. K9 Special Operations. His response was textbook executive protection. The officer whistled low. You've got a serious asset there. He's family. Maya's correction was gentle but firm. The officer nodded. Understood. But I'd recommend enhanced security. Whoever sent these men won't stop here. Wade agreed. I'm staying tonight. We'll arrange proper security tomorrow. After the police left, Wade secured the broken window with plywood. Chen helped Rosa clean up the glass. Maya sat with Rex in the living room. Her hands ran over his body, checking him herself, reassuring both of them. You were amazing. Rex leaned against her, his breathing finally settling into a normal rhythm. Wade joined them. Rex performed exactly as trained. Multiple threat neutralization without lethal force. That's advanced work. He was protecting his family. Maya said simply. Wade studied the girl and the dog. The bond between them was undeniable now. He's chosen you. That's not something that can be trained. It just is. What happens now? Wade's expression hardened. Now we prove Donovan sent them, and we make sure he never tries this again. Chen entered with her laptop. I've been documenting everything. The break-in, Rex's response, the equipment they brought. This isn't just a legal battle anymore. It's criminal. Can we tie it to Donovan? Rosa asked. Wade made a call, spoke quietly for several minutes. When he hung up, he was smiling grimly. One of the suspects is already talking, hired through an intermediary. But the money trail leads to Titan Securities shell companies. That's enough for an investigation. It's enough for a warrant. Donovan's operation is about to get very public scrutiny. Maya felt Rex relax further under her hands. It's over then? Wade hesitated. The immediate threat is contained. But men like Donovan don't give up easily. We stay vigilant. Rosa made coffee. They sat together in the living room, processing the night's events. Rex never left Maya's side. His head rested on her leg. Occasionally, his eyes would track toward the windows. Old habits, but the desperate hypervigilance was gone. He'd done his job, protected his pack, and for the first time since his discharge, that was enough. Chen raised her coffee mug. To Rex, and to second chances. They all echoed the sentiment. Even Rex's tail wagged once. Outside, dawn was beginning to break. A new day, a safer one. But the fight wasn't over yet. The media descended on Riverside. Riverside County Shelter before noon. Dr. Chen had coordinated the press conference with military precision. Local news, national outlets, military advocacy journalists, even international media interested in the working dog angle. Lieutenant Wade stood at the podium. His dress uniform crisp, medals displayed. The visual was intentional. A decorated veteran defending his former partner. Behind him, Maya sat with Rex. The dog wore a service vest Chen had acquired overnight. Official, legitimate, undeniable. Wade began speaking. His voice carried authority. 2 nights ago, armed intruders broke into a family's home. Their target was this dog, Captain Rex, a retired military working dog who served this country with distinction. Camera flashes erupted. Reporters scribbled notes. Rex was wrongly discharged after a mission in Afghanistan. A mission where he performed his duties flawlessly. I was his handler. I made the mistake that cost lives. Not him, but he carried the blame for 2 years. Wade's voice thickened with emotion. Real, unscripted. He ended up in this shelter. Labeled aggressive, unadoptable, scheduled for euthanasia. Until a 12-year-old girl saw what trained handlers couldn't. That he wasn't broken. He was traumatized. And he needed someone who understood. Maya felt the cameras turned toward her. The attention was uncomfortable, but necessary. A reporter raised her hand. How did you connect with a dog everyone else failed with? Maya spoke clearly. I listened. Everyone kept trying to fix him. I just tried to understand him. What made you think you could help? My father had PTSD after his deployment. I recognized the signs in Rex, the hypervigilance, the panic responses. He wasn't aggressive. He was afraid. Another reporter jumped in. And now he's living with you? Temporarily. Under foster care while legal proceedings continue. What legal proceedings? Wade retook the microphone. A private military contractor named Richard Donovan attempted to acquire Rex through fraudulent claims. When that failed, he sent men to steal him. Those men are now in custody. Donovan is under investigation for multiple criminal violations. The room erupted with questions. Wade raised his hand for quiet. Titan Security Solutions has been trafficking discharged military working dogs for years, selling them to overseas clients, warlords, cartels, private armies. Rex was targeted because of his elite training and genetic lineage. His mother, Liberty, saved over 40 lives in combat. She's a legend in the canine community. Dr. Chen stepped forward. We're calling for a federal investigation into Titan Security's operations, and for reform in how discharged military working dogs are processed. These animals serve our country. They deserve better than being sold to the highest bidder. A reporter addressed Maya directly. You're blind. How do you manage a dog with Rex's capabilities? Maya's response was simple. He manages me. He guides me, protects me. We take care of each other. Are you afraid of him? Never. He's the gentlest soul I've ever known. Rex's tail wagged at her words. The cameras captured it. The image would be everywhere by evening. The press conference lasted 40 minutes. Wade provided documentation. Mission reports, discharge papers, medical records proving his injuries, everything supporting Rex's innocence. Chen distributed folders containing Rex's rehabilitation progress, testimonials from shelter staff, video footage of Maya's sessions with him. The transformation was undeniable. When it ended, reporters surrounded Maya. Questions came rapidly. How does Rex help you navigate? What commands does he know? Will you keep him permanently? Wade intervened gently. That's enough for today. Maya's been through a traumatic experience. She needs rest. They escorted her to Chen's office, away from the chaos. You did great. Wade's approval was genuine. I just told the truth. Sometimes that's the most powerful thing. Rosa arrived with lunch. Maya ate mechanically. The adrenaline was fading, exhaustion replacing it. Rex lay at her feet, his presence grounding. Chen's phone rang constantly. Interview requests, support messages, donations pledging to cover Rex's care. The response was overwhelming. One call made her pause. She stepped into the hallway, spoke in hushed tones, returned looking shaken. That was the district attorney. Donovan's been arrested. The suspects from last night gave detailed statements. Wire transfers, communications, everything. Wade leaned forward. That's faster than expected. The DA says public pressure accelerated it. The story's gone viral. Social media is demanding action. They couldn't sit on evidence with this much attention. So it's over? Rosa's voice held hope. The criminal case is moving forward. But the legal battle for Rex's custody is separate. That could take weeks. What are his chances? Maya asked. Wade answered. With my testimony and the corrected military records, very good. But until it's finalized, Rex remains in legal limbo. Which means he stays with us. Chen nodded. Under protective custody, Wade will maintain security presence. The county has approved enhanced measures. Maya's fingers found Rex's ears. She scratched gently. He rumbled contentment. The rest of the day was quieter. They returned to the Torres home. Wade had arranged for a security system installation. Cameras, motion sensors, reinforced locks. Rex watched the workers with interest, learning the new layout, adapting. That evening, Maya's phone buzzed, a video call request from an unknown number. Wade checked it first, verified the source. It's safe. Military advocacy group. They want to thank you. Maya accepted. A woman's face appeared on screen. Older. Warm smile. Maya Torres? Yes, ma'am. My name is Colonel Patricia Morrison, retired. I run the Military Working Dog Foundation. I wanted to personally thank you for what you've done for Rex. I just helped him, that's all. You did more than that. You exposed a system that's been failing these dogs for years, because of you. We're getting congressional attention. Real reform is possible now. Maya felt her cheeks warm. I'm glad. We'd like to feature Rex's story in our advocacy campaign. With your permission. Help other dogs in similar situations. Of course, whatever helps. The colonel's expression softened. Your father would be very proud. I served with him briefly. He was a good man. Maya's breath caught. You knew my dad? Carlos Torres, specialist. He talked about his daughter constantly. Said you were the bravest person he knew. Tears formed. Maya didn't try to stop them. Thank you for telling me that. After the call ended, Maya sat in silence. Rosa held her close. Rex pushed his nose into Maya's hand. The gesture was deliberate, comforting. He understands sadness. Wade observed quietly. Liberty was the same way. Could sense emotional pain. Maya hugged Rex's neck. How long until we know for sure? About custody? Court date is in 3 weeks. Until then, he's yours to foster. And after? Wade smiled. I've already told the court I'm waiving any handler claim. If Maya wants him, and the family agrees, I'll advocate for permanent adoption. Rosa wiped her own eyes. This house has felt empty since Carlos died. Maybe it's time we filled it again. Maya's smile was radiant. Did you hear that, Rex? You're staying. The dog's tail wagged with full enthusiasm. For the first time in 2 years, his future held certainty. That night, Maya lay in bed. Rex had claimed his spot across her doorway, guardian position, but relaxed now. She could hear his steady breathing, the sound that had first drawn her to him. Grandma? Maya called softly. Rosa appeared in the doorway. Yes, mija. Do you think Papa sent Rex to us? Rosa was quiet for a moment. I think the universe has a way of bringing together those who need each other. Whether your father had a hand in it, I can't say. But I'd like to believe he did. Me too. Rosa kissed her forehead. Sleep now. Tomorrow we start building our new normal. After Rosa left, Maya whispered into the darkness. Thank you, Papa, for sending me a friend. Rex's ears twitched at her voice. He rose, padded softly to her bedside, rested his head on the mattress. Maya's hand found him in the dark. You're safe now. I promise. And for the first time since the explosion that shattered his world, Rex believed it. Outside, the security cameras kept watch. Wade stayed alert in the guest room. The house was protected, but the real protection was already here. A bond forged between a blind girl who saw with her heart and a war dog who'd finally found his way home. 3 weeks felt both impossibly long and remarkably short. The court hearing would determine everything. But tonight, in this moment, they were already a family, and that was enough. 3 weeks passed in a careful rhythm. Maya and Rex fell into routines. Morning walks before school, afternoon training sessions with Wade, evenings reading together. The bond deepened with each passing day, but the court date loomed. A final determination of Rex's future. Lieutenant Wade arrived early on the morning of the hearing. He wore his dress uniform again. Maya dressed carefully. Rosa had bought her a new outfit for the occasion. Rex seemed meant to sense the importance. He stayed close, vigilant but calm. The courthouse was intimidating. High ceilings, echoing footsteps, the smell of old wood and paper. Maya's cane tapped against marble floors as Wade guided them to the courtroom. Dr. Chen was already there. She'd prepared extensive documentation, rehabilitation records, veterinary reports, character testimonials. The judge entered. Everyone rose. Maya felt Rosa's steadying hand on her shoulder. Please be seated. The judge's voice was neutral, professional. The proceedings began with legal formalities. Custody determination for military working dog designation K9 Spec War 1847, known as Captain Rex. The county's attorney presented first, outlined the shelter's intake process, Rex's behavioral issues, the failed adoption attempts, then Maya's breakthrough, the rehabilitation success. Lieutenant Wade was called to testify. He approached the stand with military bearing. State your relationship to the animal in question. I was Rex's handler during his deployment in Afghanistan. I've known him since he was 14 months old. Tell us about his service record. Wade's testimony was thorough. Rex's training, his missions, the explosion that changed everything. His voice never wavered, even when describing his own failures. The official report blamed Rex for missing secondary devices. That report was inaccurate. I overrode his alerts. The casualties resulted from my error, not his. Why wasn't this corrected earlier? I was medically evacuated. By the time I recovered, Rex had been discharged and disappeared. I've spent 2 years searching for him. What's your interest in this custody determination? Wade's answer was clear. I want to ensure Rex is placed where he'll receive proper care, where he'll be valued as more than a weapon. Maya Torres has given him something I never could. Peace. The judge made notes. Thank you, Lieutenant. Maya was called next. Wade guided her to the stand. She sat straight, hands folded in her lap. Miss Torres, you're 12 years old. Yes, Your Honor. Tell me how you met Rex. Maya described her first visit to the shelter, the sound of his breathing, the recognition of his fear, her decision to help. Were you aware of his history of aggression? Dr. Chen told me he was dangerous, but when I met him, I didn't sense danger, just pain. How did you communicate with him? I spoke to him like he was a person, not a problem to solve. I think he'd been treated like equipment for so long, he forgot he was allowed to just be himself. The judge leaned forward slightly. You're blind. How do you manage his care? Maya smiled. He manages mine. He guides me better than my cane ever did, warns me of obstacles, helps me navigate crowds. But more than that, he's my friend. Are you afraid of him? Never. He's the gentlest soul I know. Even after armed men broke into your home, especially after that, he protected my grandmother and me without hesitation. Then the moment the threat was over, he came back to my side. That's not aggression. That's love. The courtroom was silent. Even the stenographer had paused. The judge reviewed documents, then looked up. I'd like to see Rex. Can he be brought in? Wade retrieved Rex from the hallway. The dog entered calmly, scanned the room, located Maya immediately. Moved to her side. The judge observed carefully. Approach the bench, please. Wade gave a hand signal. Rex walked forward, stopped at the appropriate distance, sat without command. The judge studied him. He's well trained. He's a professional. Wade said, but he's also capable of being a companion. Maya's proven that. The judge addressed Maya. Call him to you. Rex, come. The dog returned instantly, positioned himself at her feet. At ease. Rex's posture relaxed. He leaned against Maya's leg. The judge made final notes, then addressed the room. Eyes reviewed all materials: testimony from Lieutenant Wade, records from Dr. Chen, character witnesses, and I've observed the interaction between Miss Torres and Rex directly. Maya held her breath. It's clear this animal has significant training and capability. In the wrong hands, he could be dangerous. But the evidence shows he's found the right hands. The judge continued, military working dogs give years of service. Often at great personal cost, they deserve retirement with dignity. Rex has clearly found that with the Torres family. Therefore, I'm awarding permanent custody to Miss Maya Torres, with her grandmother Rosa Torres, as legal guardian and primary caretaker. All claims by outside parties are dismissed. Maya's eyes filled with tears. He's really ours? He's really yours. The judge's stern expression softened. Take good care of him. I will, I promise. Court adjourned. The gavel struck. Final, binding. Rosa embraced Maya. Wade shook their hands. Dr. Chen was crying openly. Rex seemed to understand. His tail wagged steadily. He pressed closer to Maya. Outside the courtroom, reporters waited. But Wade had arranged a back exit. They needed this moment private. In the parking lot, Maya knelt beside Rex. We're family now. Official. Rex licked her face. Gentle, deliberate. Wade crouched beside them. Liberty would be proud of you, boy. You found your way home. A car pulled up. Unexpected. Wade moved protectively. But the woman who emerged wore a military uniform. Captain's insignia. She approached slowly. Lieutenant Wade? Wade recognized her instantly. Captain Hayes. She was one of the soldiers Rex had pulled from the blast zone. One of the survivors. I heard about the hearing. Had to come. She knelt in front of Rex. The dog studied her. Recognition flickered. You saved my life. Hayes's voice broke. I never got to say thank you. She extended her hand. Rex sniffed it, remembered. His tail wagged slowly. Hayes pulled something from her jacket. A medal. Purple Heart. I want Maya to have this. For Rex. I can't take your Purple Heart, Maya protested. It's not mine anymore. It's his. Hayes placed it in Maya's hand. He earned it more than I did. 5 trips into active fire to pull us out. The report called him a failure. He's the reason I'm alive to call them liars. She stood, saluted Rex formally. The dog sat straighter. Some instincts never fade. Thank you for giving him the life he deserves. After Hayes left, they drove home in contemplative silence. The weight of the day settling. At the house, Wade helped carry in the official paperwork. Rex's registration, adoption certificate, medical records transferred to Rosa's name. I should go, Wade said. Let you celebrate as a family. Your family too now, Rosa insisted. Stay for dinner. Wade accepted. They ate together, shared stories, laughed. For the first time in years, the Torres home felt complete. After dinner, Wade prepared to leave. He knelt beside Rex one final time. You did good, soldier. Better than good. You survived. And that's the hardest mission of all. Rex pressed his head against Wade's chest. Goodbye without words. I'll visit, Wade promised. You're stuck with me now. As his truck pulled away, Maya and Rex sat on the front porch, evening settling around them. Rosa joined them, brought lemonade. They sat in peaceful quiet. Mija, are you happy? Maya's smile was answer enough, but she spoke anyway. For the first time since Papa died. Yes, I'm happy. Rex's head rested in her lap, his breathing even, relaxed. Rosa watched them together, the blind girl and the war dog, 2 broken pieces that had found each other, made themselves whole. Inside on the mantel, Rosa had placed 2 photographs, one of Carlos in uniform, one of Liberty beside her handler. Together, they watched over this new family. That night, Maya lay in bed, Rex in his usual spot across the doorway. But she called to him softly. Rex, here. He approached, uncertain. He'd always maintained that guardian position. Up. He jumped onto the bed carefully, settled beside her. You don't have to guard anymore. You can just rest. Rex's sigh was long, deep. The exhale of a soldier finally released from duty. Maya's arm draped over him. Thank you for choosing me. His tail thumped once against the blanket. Outside, the neighborhood slept. The security system Wade installed kept watch. But the real security was here. In this room. In this moment. A girl who'd lost her father. A dog who'd lost his purpose. Both finding salvation in each other. The courts had made it official. But they'd been family since that first moment in the shelter. When Maya heard his panicked breathing and recognized a kindred spirit. When Rex looked at the blind girl and saw someone who finally understood. Tomorrow would bring new routines. School. Training. Normal life. But tonight was for gratitude. For second chances. For the impossible becoming possible. Maya drifted towards sleep. Her last conscious thought was a prayer. Thank you for bringing him home. To me. To himself. Rex's breathing matched hers. Synchronized. Connected. Two hearts beating as one. Finally at peace. 4 months passed like a gentle river. The legal battles faded into memory. Richard Donovan faced federal charges. Titan Security Solutions collapsed under investigation. 14 military working dogs were rescued from their pipeline. Maya's life transformed in ways she'd never imagined. Rex became more than a pet. He was her companion, her guide, her protector. But mostly, he was just Rex. A dog who loved belly rubs and chasing tennis balls in the backyard. School changed too. Students who'd avoided her now gathered around. Everyone wanted to meet the famous dog. Maya found herself making friends. Real ones. Rex attended school with her now. Official service dog certification completed. He lay quietly during classes. Guided her through crowded hallways. The teachers marveled at his intelligence. One afternoon, Dr. Chen called with news. The mayor wants to honor Rex. Public ceremony next week. Community hero recognition. Rosa wasn't sure. More attention, more cameras. But Maya felt differently. If it helps other dogs like Rex, we should do it. The ceremony was held at the town square. Hundreds attended. Local news covered it live. The footage would reach millions online. Mayor Hendricks stood at the podium. Today we recognize an extraordinary animal. Captain Rex served our country with distinction. Survived trauma most couldn't imagine. And found his way home through the compassion of a remarkable young girl. The crowd applauded. Rex sat beside Maya, wearing a decorated vest Wade had gifted him. Liberty's name embroidered on the side. Her son. Her legacy. Maya Torres showed us that healing requires patience, understanding, and the courage to see past the surface. She gave Rex something all veterans deserve. A second chance. The mayor presented a medal. Honorary service recognition. Engraved with Rex's name and dates of service. Maya accepted it. Her speech was brief. Rex taught me that being broken doesn't mean being useless. It just means you need someone who understands. Thank you for celebrating him today. The applause was thunderous. Parents lifted children to see better. Veterans in the crowd saluted. After the ceremony, people approached. Stories poured out. A veteran whose own service dog had saved him. A teacher whose PTSD made daily life difficult. A child who wanted to help animals when she grew up. Rex handled it all with grace. Let people pet him gently. Posed for photos. His tail wagged continuously. Lieutenant Wade attended with a surprise guest. A woman in her 60s, distinguished, carrying herself with military bearing. Maya, I'd like you to meet someone. Wade's voice held emotion. This is Colonel Sarah Mitchell. She was Liberty's handler. Maya's breath caught. Rex's mother's handler? The colonel knelt before Rex, studied his face, his eyes. My God, he has her expression exactly. Rex sniffed her carefully. Some scent memory triggered. His tail wagged faster. Liberty was the finest dog I ever worked with. The colonel's voice was thick. She saved my life twice. When she died protecting that unit retreat. I thought her legacy died with her. But it didn't, Maya said softly. No, it lives in him, and now I see it's living in the lives he's touched. Liberty would be so proud. The colonel pulled out a photograph. Liberty in her prime, standing alert, confident. Beside her, a tiny puppy, Rex. This was taken a week before deployment. She was such a good mother. Protective, gentle. Taught him everything she knew in those first months. She gave it to Maya. For your family. So Rex never forgets where he came from. Thank you. Maya held the photo carefully. The colonel stood, addressed Rex directly. Your mother was a hero. So are you. Rest easy, soldier. You've earned it. She saluted. Rex's posture straightened instinctively. Some responses never fade. Later, Wade approached with another development. The Military Working Dog Foundation wants to start a program. Rex's Second Chance Initiative. Connecting traumatized veterans with retired canines who need homes. That's wonderful, Rosa said. They want Maya and Rex to be ambassadors. Visit VA hospitals, share their story, help facilitate matches. Maya considered this. Would Rex be okay with that? Wade smiled. I think he'd excel at it. He's always been a working dog. This gives him purpose without the danger. Over the following weeks, they visited 3 VA hospitals. Rex's effect on the veterans was immediate. Men and women who'd struggled with PTSD for years opened up around him, shared their stories, found comfort in his presence. One veteran, a former Marine named Jackson, broke down crying when Rex approached him. I had a dog overseas, lost him to an IED, haven't been able to be around dogs since. But Rex sat patiently beside him. Let Jackson's trembling hands rest on his head. The Marine's breathing steadied. He understands, doesn't he? Maya nodded. He's been where you are. By the end of that first visit, 3 veterans had applied for the matching program. Within a month, 2 had been successfully paired with retired military dogs. The initiative grew. News coverage expanded. Donations funded medical care for retired canines. Adoption rates tripled. Maya's 12th birthday became 13th, a small celebration at home. Rosa made her son's favorite cake, chocolate with strawberries. Maya's favorite now too. Wade visited, brought gifts, a new training vest for Rex, a braille book about military dog history for Maya. They sat in the backyard, afternoon sun warm. Rex chased a ball Rosa threw. His movements still powerful, but playful now. No tension, no fear. He's a different dog, Wade observed. Than the one I left in Afghanistan. He's the same dog, Maya corrected gently. Just finally allowed to show it. You're wise beyond your years. I learned from the best. She gestured toward Rex. The dog returned. Drop the ball at Maya's feet. She threw it. Her aim was off. But Rex adjusted. Brought it back. Wade watched them. This is what Liberty wanted for him. I'm sure of it. Tell me about her. More stories. Wade shared memories. Liberty's intelligence. Her loyalty. The time she detected an explosive device disguised as a child's toy. Saved an entire school. She sounds incredible. She was. But so is he. And so are you. Rosa brought out the cake. Candles lit. They sang. Maya blew them out. Made a wish silently. Rex got his own small cake. Dog-friendly. He devoured it enthusiastically. Frosting on his nose. The laughter was genuine. Full. This family had been broken. Now it was whole. That evening, Maya sat on the porch. Rex beside her. The medal from the mayor hung on the wall inside. Next to her father's photo. Next to Liberty's. 3 generations of service. 3 souls who'd given everything. Grandma joined them, brought tea. They sat in comfortable silence. Your father would have loved Rex. I think he sent him to us. Rosa smiled. Maybe he did. They watched the sunset together. Maya couldn't see the colors. But Rex's contentment beside her painted its own picture. A car pulled up. Dr. Chen emerged. Unexpected visit. Everything okay? Rosa stood. More than okay. Chen was beaming. I have news. The county board voted. We're renaming the shelter Adoption Wing. The Liberty and Rex Memorial Wing. Dedicated to second chances. Maya's eyes filled with tears. That's perfect. The dedication is next month. We'd like you both there. We'll be there. After Chen left, Maya hugged Rex tight. You're helping so many, even the ones you'll never meet. His tail wagged against the porch. Inside, Rosa placed Liberty's photograph on the mantel. Beside Carlos, two warriors, two heroes, watching over their children. That night, Maya wrote in her Braille journal, an entry she'd read years later, and remember this perfect moment. Rex taught me that scars don't define us. How we heal from them does. He was called broken, dangerous, unadoptable, but he was just waiting for someone to see past the fear to the hero underneath. I'm grateful every day that I got to be that person. That he chose me, that we saved each other. She closed the journal. Rex was already asleep at the foot of her bed, his breathing steady, peaceful. Maya lay down. Her hand found his fur in the darkness. Tomorrow would bring new adventures. More veterans to help, more dogs to save. But tonight was for gratitude, for impossible journeys that led home. For blind girls who saw with their hearts. For war dogs who finally found peace. Outside, stars emerged, the same stars that had watched over Liberty in foreign deserts, that had witnessed Rex's darkest moments, that now shone on his happiness. The circle was complete. The legacy continued. And in a small house in Riverside County, a family slept, safe, together, whole. Maya's last thought before sleep was simple, profound. Thank you, Rex, for teaching me that the bravest thing a warrior can do is accept love. His ear twitched at her whisper. Even in sleep, he listened. Protected, cared, because that's what family does. And they were family now. Forever. The end of one story. The beginning of countless others, all because a blind girl heard a soldier's pain and refused to walk away. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you know a veteran, human or canine, who needs support, reach out. Sometimes the bravest thing a warrior can do is accept peace. Sometimes heroes don't wear badges. Sometimes they walk on four paws. And sometimes, they just need someone to whisper the right word. Liberty. Home. Family. Love.